Hello, everyone, and welcome back to, well, not really an episode of the Eljay Johnsen Show, but it's the closest thing we got for right now. So, for anyone unaware, the Eljay Johnsen Show airs every single Saturday at 4 o'clock p.m. EDT, Eastern Daylight Time is what we're in now. And as many of you may know, it is past that time. It is actually 4:34 EDT. Another thing you might notice, is that there's no guest. It's just me, and there's a reason for that. I had a guest today. My guest for today was Tenaglia Studios, and I, obviously scheduled this with him quite a while ago. It was done in quite a substantial amount of time in advance. Confirmed it on several occasions, and I don't know where he is. I have no idea. That is really the cause for the delay. He's a complete and total no-show. So, instead of leaving everyone hanging, though, I decided, how's about I do something kind of in the same vein as, like, say, what do you call that? A day off stream, in a sense. But more kind of an update, kind of see where things are, see how everyone's doing, kind of just casual conversation and whatnot. And kind of an update on this channel as to what the heck has been going on, because it's been a turbulent couple of months. But I'll also answer questions, of course. But yeah, no, I mean, it's strange. He was excited to be on. I was excited to have him on and talk to him about a ton of different things, like Ninjago and whatnot. And I have no idea where he is. I've contacted him several occasions and haven't gotten a response, and that's pretty much about it. So, but I'm sure we'll reschedule. I just am very disappointed that this has happened. So, yeah. Chiavor Production says your podcast needs more bricktubers. I agree. I'd love to have more people to discuss system and Lego YouTube. That's partially why I was so excited to have Tenaglia on today, because we would have discussed his stop motion and Ninjago and the Ninjago community on YouTube specifically, and so on and so forth. Interesting stuff like that, which is not usually what I'm very well versed in. So, but we'll see what happens. But I'm looking forward. We got a lot of cool guests. Trust me, like. Some great things have happened recently to allow for some really fantastic guests. I'm quite looking forward to that over the next few weeks. So it should be all good. But yeah, so I'll start things off. How's everyone today? Yeah, same thing. Hopefully all is well. Let me just go ahead and do a little rearranging of some things. There we go. Cool. Yeah, hopefully everyone is doing well today. So, some updates. Since obviously we won't have a guest today, I don't expect us to last all too long. But, let's see. So I need to make a separate video regarding this. Obviously enough, because this isn't something that's reflected on my channel right now. But I will be making a separate video kind of discussing things, hopefully next month. But yes, for anyone unaware, I am back with TTV. I'm full-time back at TTV as a full member and host and whatnot. If any of you have seen the Lime Joint podcast, you'll know kinda, sorta why, and partially kinda, sorta why I got fired in the first place, and so on and so forth. And things start to make a lot of sense. There'll be more on that later. But yes, I'm back. It's not a situation where it's like, oh man, I'm gonna just crawl my way back to TTV. I can't do this on my own. That's not how the situation is. It's far more complex and complicated than that. But I will explain next week. Sorry, not next week. I'll explain hopefully next month. So, some other things. Obviously, the show is doing fine outside of the no-show for today. The guest no-show, that is. Brick Fair, Virginia is coming up in a couple months. It's going to be August 1st to the 5th if you are a registrant, if you're an exhibitor. However, if you go only on the public days, then that is only going to be the 4th to the 5th. Now, if you see the thumbnail and what's on video right now, then you can see that there are a bunch of comics on a table. I'm giving those away at Brick Fair. Just come up to me and say hi on one of the public days, and you just get a comic. Simple as that. So, but yeah, I'm going to answer some comments here. Anthony Nguyen. Eljay isn't tough enough to tank on his own. Excuse me. I main Reinhardt in Overwatch. That's literally the tankiest tank you can tank. Wolk, who was supposed to be here, is D Tenaglia Studios, but he no-showed. I have absolutely no idea where he is. I confirmed it with him several times prior, and I've reached out to him to see if he's still around. I got nothing. So I don't know where he is. I don't know what happened. I'm sure at some point we might reschedule, but I don't really know right now. So, I like this. Nick on Planet Ripple, which, by the way, you should go listen to that episode. I really enjoy that one. Definitely check out Nick's book, his series, his graphic novel series. Let's discuss whether or not construction qualifies as real Lego. See, that's the thing. I've wanted to have this discussion with someone. Not a debate, necessarily, because it really isn't. There's no real debate to that conversation. It's a really... I mean, to be a little blunt, it's kind of a dumb conversation to have. But it's one that a lot of people, for whatever reason, are like, oh, well, Bionicle isn't real Lego. As if there's, like, a difference between what... You know, like, Lego is not one thing. But some people seem to think Bionicle doesn't constitute as Lego. And, like, there's a perspective to it, and then there's just a factual kind of, well, it either is or it isn't. Lego either made it or they didn't. And that's kind of the factual basis for whatever going forward. But then there's also the perspective, well, I don't consider it Lego. Like, I don't, that's not traditional Lego to me. And, you know, then there's that whole perspective. You know, some people have that. But I'd love to have that discussion with someone. I think that'd be quite entertaining. But, yeah. So, that's pretty much it. That's kind of the gist of things. Jake the Robonder asks, do you prefer Slicers or Robo-Riders? Slicers, personally. The Robo-Riders never really interested me. You know, they're just kind of motorcycles. I'm not a big fan of motorcycles. But the Slicers, you know, they're unique. They're cool. They're the original construction wave. You know, so on and so forth. But, a few other things. I will be doing some cool stuff here, obviously enough. We're going to be having a Let's Play series on this channel. I said it was going to be Galador. It's going to be Galador, so keep an eye out for that. I'm quite looking forward to it. On TTV, there's another project I'm working on for TTV. There are actually a couple Let's Play as well as something else. And I've teased it a little bit on Twitter, and I probably will continue to do so. However, I'm not going to give a release date just yet, or give it away. Some people have kind of got an idea, but I'm gonna wait to confirm it. Let me see. Orakumi asks, is there a chance of me being a guest on your show? So I actually should probably have this in the description of every episode of the show. However, there is a form. If you go back and look at the video where I announced the show, in the description there's a form. Basically just fill it out. I'll look through it, and hopefully in due time I will be able to get back to you and say, oh yeah, here you go. So I would recommend doing that. That's pretty much the most assured way, because otherwise it's invite only. But I do recommend it. Treevore Productions asks, did you see Just Too Good's YouTuber collectible minifigure draft? It has you in it. Yes, actually he came to me and asked for a consultation on Varn Mesos, just the items, nothing major. I didn't realize I was going to be in it. I thought it was awesome. I was super happy. Just Too Good's a really nice guy, and I thought the video was fantastic. I'm a little biased, but but yeah, no, I quite enjoyed it. I'm very happy he included me. Wolk asks, is Pins and Axles coming back? I mean, I'm looking into it. I wouldn't say no, but it's definitely a lot of work to do. But I would definitely like to. Recently I've been giving it a lot of thought, and I came to a realization, because there's an idea I wanted to discuss on Pins and Axles, and I've even mentioned what I wanted the third episode to be about, but I couldn't really figure out how to make a full episode out of it, because the episode was oh goodness, what did I say it was initially? I think it was about how story affects sets. I think that's what I wanted to discuss. And plot twist, it doesn't. The story has a basically nil effect on most sets. There are obviously a few exceptions to that rule. However, generally speaking, the story doesn't have any effect on sets being made. So that's why whenever somebody brings up a critique of a set and you try and go, well, no, that's okay. The way that set is, that's perfectly fine because of this that happened in the story. It's completely invalid. It doesn't matter. There's no reason to be trying to defend a set by saying, oh, well, here's the story explanation. That doesn't work. So, Nick asks, how do you feel about the blue pieces on Power Miners and later vehicles? I thought they were fine. I'm not too heavily invested in Power Miners, unfortunately. But I always thought the color schemes are kind of fun to look at. So, Orikimu asks, Orikumi, asks, how bad is your Lego set backlog? Mine is really bad. More than 20 unbuilt sets. My goodness. Mine is not that severe. It's more like 5. Okay, a little more than 5 if you consider my project, but I don't know if I really do. But yeah. Like I said, I don't think this will be all too long. We'll pretty much be going up until the top of the hour, and then we'll go ahead and cut things off. I just wanted to kind of explain exactly what happened, why there's no guest here today. And yeah, it's kind of disappointing, because I was looking forward to having him on to discuss a variety of subjects, Ninjago, stop motion animation, the Ninjago community on YouTube, of course, as well as even a little bit of Star Wars The Last Jedi, because I know he's a fan of that. I'm not a fan of that. I do not like Star Wars The Last Jedi. So Wolk asks, you said you don't mind red axles and blue pins. Do you mind yellow axles? Well, it really depends, because it's all circumstantial. Because I don't mind really any of the pins. It's whatever to me. As a basic rule, I like all of the Bionicle sets. But when it comes to red axles and blue pins, while I don't... They don't change how I feel about a set, is what I should specify a little bit. I do think that they're bad. I don't think that they are a good aspect to a set. I do think that they are a detriment to any given set. So red axles and blue pins on sets that are not red or blue are detrimental. They're not good. I don't like them. That being said, they also don't bother me, and they do not change how I feel about any given set. So that being the case, same goes for yellow axles. So, Dinosaur Planet asks, how was your day? It's nice, it's nice. How's yours? How are all of you doing? I hope all is well. And, yeah, let me see. Looking at all the G3, sorry, G3. Oh, gosh. Nope, I'm not doing that again. I'm going to stay well out of that ballpark. But, I'm just looking at all G2 stuff. That's the thing. This is a little bit of an unpopular opinion. I like G2. I really do. Obviously, I like G1 way more, but I don't hate G2. Let me see. Nikon asks, last question, since it looks like construction is ending with the latest Star Wars wave, what should we do? I mean, do whatever you want. The construction lives on in a couple of other forms. Like, with Nexonites, you had these kind of small mechs. I think those were fun. You know, they were construction on a much smaller scale. Ninjago has some construction aspects. Because if you like tall, buildable figures that feature some actions, then I think you would like Ninjago's mechs. For instance. I think those are quite fun. Sometimes you'll see mechs with construction pieces, specifically in Marvel superheroes. I don't know about DC. I don't pay much attention to DC, but certainly Marvel, at least in a few. But depends. If you like construction, it really depends on what you liked about construction. So if you like story stuff, oh joy, it's lagging. All right, give me a moment. Okay, there we go. That should be better. Okay. But, yeah, it depends on why you like construction. If you like construction for story themes, then I highly recommend Ninjago because it's a very story-centric theme. If you liked it for the buildable figures, I still also recommend Ninjago. However, I also recommend Lego Superhero Marvel, and so on and so forth. Let me see. Jake asks, since you did the motion comics for Toa videos, which Liwa moment did you enjoy doing the most? Are you talking about Totapayo? Because Totapayo did the motion comics, and I'm quite a big fan of motion comics. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I think definitely the scene where it's Liwa versus Anua was my favorite. Wolk asks, did you see episode 22 of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 5? I'm caught up on S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 5. I saw the finale. It is amazing. My goodness, that ending rivals Infinity War for me. Also, Tree of War asks, are Infinity War spoilers allowed? I'm going to say no for right now, but just for right now. Maybe another time. Cool Car 161. LJ, I've been working on stop motion and would be thankful if I could come on the show and discuss it. Go ahead and send an application. Just send that in. It's over on... I should really include that in all the videos. However, I would recommend going over to the video where I announce the show. There's a link to a form. Fill that out and send it in. Alright. Dinosaur Planet asks, could the Traga ever wear great Kanohi masks? Okay. In a toy museum, they put a Miru on Traga Nuju, so I'm curious. Excellent question. I'm sure that they could wear them. I don't think that they would be able to use them at the great power level. Let me go ahead and verify that on BSO1. Because, like, a lot of people can wear masks. They just won't always be able to use them. That's kind of the rule of thumb. Let me see. Powers, use of Kanohi. Okay. Interesting. It doesn't really specify. That's a good question. It's one I'd recommend asking Greg on the TTV message boards, but there's no clean and clear answer for that. Huh, strange. Huh. Leosander asks, did you see the ending for Infinity War playing out the way it did? Ish, a little bit. I'm not really certain I saw it going that exact way, but I wasn't necessarily surprised that certain things happened. So, Rakrondul asks, are you going to get Ninjago City docks? Yes. Yes, just simply absolutely 100%. The build for Ninjago City is amazing. It looks great connected to Ninjago City docks, and of course I'm a sucker for those stickers. Anthony asks favorite LEGO theme. It's definitely Bionicle. Of the current existing ones, Ninjago. So yeah, Lime Joint Podcast, who I'm assuming is Hector, it usually is 100% correct. Matoran can wear Great Kanohi masks and feel their power, however they cannot use them. So I figure it's a very similar aspect when it comes to Chiraga. Like, for instance, if Chiraga Matau were to put on a Great Mahiki, he would not be able to use the powers of the Great Mahiki. He would only be able to do things that a Noble Mahiki would be able to do. Now, a Toa can use a Noble Mahiki and a Great Mahiki interchangeably. But, yeah, I don't think a Chiraga is going to be able to use a mask outside of the Noble level. Kirby One Up asks, do you have any recommendations on how to handle broken ball joints on G1 Bionicle pieces? Yeah, the garbage bin, unfortunately. That's about it. If you actually want really to save them, there is a video on the TTV channel. Air the Chronicler made it, and he discusses how to go about salvaging them. And the gist of his recommendation is take a bunch of glue and put it on the inside of the ball joint, and so it makes kind of like a seal. So I would recommend trying that and looking that video up. It's pretty good advice. But me personally, I just chuck them. Anthony asks, do you like the direction Ninjago went with the new style, like the Ninjago movie characters? Yeah, no, I think it's great. I think it's awesome. I think that the sets are fantastic. They're some of the best sets the Ninjago theme has ever gotten. And I'm super impressed. I'm constantly impressed by Ninjago sets, specifically from the movie. Leo Xandar asks, speaking of Air, have you heard from him lately? I haven't. Meso did, like, last year around Brick Fair, but I did not. I didn't hear from him at all. So I hope he's doing well. But, yeah. Captain Rex of the 501st asks what happened to those videos, the series of that had the episode of the glue and the joints. He just stopped making them. He got, I presume, busy with other things and wasn't able to contribute. And that's it. That's really it. And he just kind of went back into the background. So. Lime Join asks, what would you like to see from future LEGO themes? A compelling story, really. Like what Ninjago has and what Bionicle had. You know, really just good, engaging story would be what I would like to see. Tesla Effect asks, will we ever see another pure construction theme from LEGO? I don't think so. Personally, I really don't. I think it would greatly surprise me if we ever saw another pure construction theme from LEGO ever again. I think we'll see, sets with construction enhanced designs, but I don't believe personally from this point in time that we'll see another one. Now, obviously I'm not in LEGO, so I don't have that frame of reference, So, also, I don't know if you were there earlier, Tesla Effect, but this is kind of more of a, while it's a general response, it is more of something in reply to something I've seen you say. And this kind of goes back to me and TTV, that situation. The situation is not one of I'm crawling back to them as if I cannot enjoy doing things on my own. It's a situation far more complex in that some awful, terrible garbage occurred, and I had the opportunity to return making videos and having fun with friends. That's how that situation is. Which is obviously why I'm still doing stuff here, and will be doing more than just the show. Because I'm sure that for a lot of people, it's like, oh, well, subscribe. Oh, he only does this. There are going to be more things to this. Like, again, I will be doing a Let's Play that with a fun guest on Galador. I think that's going to be a blast. And definitely some more reviews. I have a lot of ideas that are going to be very specific to this channel. And then, obviously, I'm still going to be a contributor to the TTV channel. You know, it's balancing both. But, Haha LOL asks, what do you think if Bionicle G3 came out with, like, super battle-damaged Motoro and Tomari? Like, his goggle and tube ripped out and his claw broken. Even though it kind of doesn't make sense. I'm not sure exactly what you're referring to. If you could please elaborate on that concept just a little bit more. But I also don't personally think we're going to get a Bionicle G3. I know that the concept of getting kind of a Bionicle tribute for its 20th has been tossed around a little bit. I think that is possible. I would not be surprised if LEGO were to do something in honor and to commemorate 20 years of Bionicle. That would not surprise me, and it would make me genuinely thrilled. But I do not think we're going to see a G3 again. At least, not only do I not think so, I also hope we don't, because if it doesn't do well, I don't really know if I could handle the sodium output of the Bionicle community again. Rekronduel asks, what is your favorite licensed theme? And, I'm gonna go with, like, a Marvel. Definitely Marvel. Dinosaur Planet, LJ, I'm glad you're in TTV again, but you really had more opportunities when you were fired. Well, I'm still doing this. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm a part of TTV again. However, I have full autonomy. I can still do what I want. I can still say whatever I will. There's no boundaries or guidelines or strict fences. So, that's obviously why I'm doing this. And I will be doing my own things. So the opportunities are definitely still there. Not everything I'm going to be doing is on behalf of TTV. So, I can assure you, I totally understand. But, I mean, I'll be a little candid. Somebody, a cancer that was in TTV is gone. And you're going to see a very, very clear shift in exactly how everyone is. Like, you might already see it now. And it's really nice. The business focus is pretty much gone. And it's very nice. Now, keep in mind, when I left TTV, when I was fired, I joined a lot of the different branches of the Bionicle community because TTV is, in a bubble. TTV is in a bubble inside of the construction community, which is a bubble of its own. So it's a bubble in a bubble. And I wanted to branch out, and I have, and I'm so happy about that. I'm glad that I've had that opportunity to branch out to all these different communities, all these different places, and I'm not leaving them just because I'm part of TTV again. I'm still sticking around, made a lot of great friends and acquaintances, and that's great. I'm happy to be more a part of the community as a whole. I'm not going to recluse again now that I'm part of TTV again. So I'm obviously going to be doing stuff like this. I'm still going to be branching out, learning more about Lego, other themes, so on and so forth. There's definitely still going to be a lot of this, and it's going to be fun for me to try and balance construction and system. That's pretty much what I'm trying to do, because I don't want to just go to, system and be like, oh, well, see a construction, you're not putting out any new themes. Like, I want to give focus to both, because I'm a construction fan, and I want to do stuff for the construction fan base. However, at the same time, I also want to learn more about different communities, different LEGO themes, be a little more well-versed in the overall hobby. So, I'm still going to be doing that. I appreciate everyone listening and watching, and it's always a fun experience. Secret Walrus, Anthony Wilson, who I also had on the show, I highly recommend listening to that as well, asks, would you ever think about getting system builders on the show? Absolutely. In fact, I do have a couple lined up. Actually, I would definitely recommend paying attention to this next announcement. I'm going to be... Next week's guest is a systemachist. There are some other systemachists I'm either in the stages of booking or will be approaching at some point very soon. So yeah, no, absolutely. Like, I'm doing everything I can to branch out and get as many varied and different perspectives as possible. So, I definitely recommend keeping an eye out for that. There will be a lot more varied and interesting discussions to be had. And again, it's one of those things where I'm trying to balance system and learn more about that, and then also have some focus given to both. Just basically trying to balance both. Learn about system and also make content for those who are fans of construction. But, yeah. Also, Dinosaur Planet, that's a perfectly valid point to make. What I meant was that, he says here, what I meant was that until you were fired, you didn't branch out. Correct. That's why I've tried so hard to branch out since I was fired, and I'm going to continue to do so. Like I said, I'm not going to recluse. I'm not going to, fall back into old habits where I just completely pull back and then just do my own safe thing. I'm going to be doing things on the TTV channel that I think a lot of people have wanted. I think a lot of people would enjoy, because I still want to do LEGO content for them and help that side out. And I think you guys are really going to enjoy that. But I'm also going to be doing stuff here. And there will be more random reviews where I look over some system stuff that I really enjoy. There are going to be some other different kinds of kind of video. Not necessarily a review, more of kind of a retrospective. It's a little difficult to explain, but when it's there, it's there. I also really enjoy doing top 10s. Sincerely, I really do like it. It's not just a grab. It's like, ha, easy views, suckers. Top 10s are fun for me. But Tesla Effect says, I got to appreciate you, LJ, a lot more when you got fired from TTV. Your work after that was amazing and varied. That's why I was disappointed to see you going back to them where they limited you. Totally understand, and I appreciate that. I really, really do. And I really understand where you're coming from and where others might be hesitant to see me back at TTV. I can assure you, the limiters are gone. That was pretty much one of the first things, because I was brought back and, brought back into the fold to hang out with friends again. And one of the first few things we discussed was, hey, I get full autonomy. That we're not going to be in another contract scenario where, it's like, no competition. You can't compete. Can't make LEGO videos while you're part of TTV. That's gone. It's gone for everyone. Everyone has the ability to be fully autonomous. And that same goes for me, especially for me. That was one of the first things I had inquired about and made clear. So, I can guarantee you, that is not happening again. And I'm really excited. I'm still super excited to do stuff here. I'm glad that the San Tarkava and the Power Pack review went well. I might do some some other videos along those lines, kind of just going over the collectibles that I have. I don't have all of the collectibles, but it'd be kind of a video just discussing them in general. But Tesla, I'm aware that you are currently blocked from the message boards. I will say, I know the reasons why. If you'd like, go ahead and send me a message, and it's something I'm more than willing to discuss and kind of figure out. So I go ahead and send me a message here on YouTube, and we can talk about it if you'd like. But yeah, no, I appreciate all of you turning out, and hopefully the show has been fun. I'm more than open to criticism. If you have any issues with the show at all, or any content on the channel, let me know. Let me know what it is, how you think that I can improve it, and what you would like to see. Because if it sounds fun, I will want to do it. And I've been having a blast with this show. And that's why, I'm also incredibly disappointed that D. Tenaglia didn't show up today. So for the final question, Rakronduel asks, are you and the cast planning any future community projects? I can't speak for them. I know that I am. But we've all been, TTV as a whole has been kind of trying desperately to restructure and kind of get our bearings again after the absolute kerfuffle that was Kahi's firing, which is directly connected to my return. So. Alright, well, everyone, I really do appreciate you all being here despite the fact I didn't have a guest today. Thank you all for turning out and asking questions and engaging and interacting, and I always love doing stuff like this. Another thing I want to do is giveaways, because I would love to give you guys something in return for all of this, and it is something I do plan on doing. It's just not something right now I'm able to, but I want to. So I'll definitely be doing more and fun stuff, because, fun is the name of the game. Well, okay, well, actually, the game is named, it's YouTube, because YouTube's a game, and you gotta, play the system, but I'm not really interested in playing the game. I'm just interested more in having fun, but anyway. Okay, so, once again, thank you all so very much for listening, and for chatting with me and talking and whatnot. Keep an eye on Twitter. I will have guest announcements every Tuesday. I'm really looking forward to my next guest. I think he's a fascinating fellow with a perspective. I've met him like once before in person, although I didn't really talk to him. It was kind of more of a passing by situation. But I've also talked to him previously on a couple of other streams. He's great. I'm looking forward to talking to him. And yeah. All right. Thank you all so very much. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and we'll see you all next time. Adios.